Welcome to Generational Wealth. In this video, we will discuss buy and sell traps. We will go over manipulation, cycle structure, understanding more to the market maker strategy on manipulation, on inducing the retail traders. I would say not only the retail traders, but inducing buyers and the sellers at both times throughout the trend. So let's begin. So first, you have to understand what is liquidity. Liquidity, that is the money in the market. That is where all of the money is going right there at that area. Of course, where is the liquidity on these charts? When we look at it on a technical analysis standpoint, they are at the highs and the lows. So the liquidity seems to always be at the highs and the lows. So, for example, here, the market maker will set traps to induce you to go in one direction while they go in the opposite direction to, of course, take your money. And they're doing this by setting traps. So, like I said, they're setting it at the liquidity. They're setting these traps at the liquidity zones, support and resistance zones, whatever you want to call them. So, for example, what do you expect when you see multiple times the market? It tends to just keep on bouncing off of resistance. Breaks it, came back, retested, came back, retested, came back, retest several times. So now, to a retail trader perspective, or how we were taught in this market when we first started trading, is to sell this resistance. So, of course, you caught this opportunity, would have been a good sell, right? You know, you didn't catch that, then it comes up, oh, you figured there's more opportunities, so you just can sell here. But at the same time, this is the trap to get you to sell. The trap is to get you to sell to gain the liquidity. So they're gaining so much liquidity right here because everybody's in the market. There's a lot of sellers in the market at this point. So all those sellers, the market makers need to take their money. So in order to take their money, we need to move the market in the opposite direction, because that's how this game works. That's how you manipulate. That's how you induce. So at this point right here, all the sellers are in this market. So it's a lot of liquidity right here off this high, you know. So all these sellers are in there. Then the market maker finally breaks it. Oh, boom. But do you see this? One last time it pushed down right here at the top, to broke through, push down, candle. A lot of sellers got in at that point. It just tired, pushed through, broke through, took them completely out the game, because most of them had their stop loss set up here anyway around this area right here. So most people took right out the game that did have a stop loss set up there. So this was the sell trap to induce. Sell trap, got the sellers, took their money, moved the market in the opposite direction. So now retail traders see this strong move. Broke through all this. We finally broke through this resistance we've been waiting to get through. So now buyers are in control. So at that point, we're looking for buys. Now they're looking for buys. Now these sellers finally get the drift. Now they're looking for buys. And by the time they get ready to look for the buys for the following week, after they just lost money last week, they're looking for buys this week, starting Monday, to get in. And then we get the midweek reversal Wednesday, which is our midweek reversal. So the thing about the midweek reversal, the cycle structure, this is going to help you understand it a lot better, because you have to know what the market is doing. And I'm doing this on a 1 hour time frame. You could do this on a 4 hour, 15 minute to get a better look at it and more in depth. But you need to understand the structure which is going on in our opportunities. What we trade is at New York and London session is the time we take our trades. So pay attention, because I try my best to get most London, New York on the chart drawn up here so you can see. Just keep in mind those would be the opportunities we would take the trades. So understand that. So buyers are in control. Buyers in control after they got done trapping these sellers here, push the market up, midweek reversal, cycle structure, drop. We caught that move, but at the same time, you notice midweek reversal that buyers are in control. So we know buyers are in control. We see that, right? This is the retest of breaking this. After it finally came through, broke that, came through, retest, London session opened up our opportunity to get back in with the buyers. Who's in control, right? Who's in control? Because they're in the control of this market. Remember, we just induced all these sellers, so they're in control. But you have to understand, the market maker is inducing buyers and sellers. During an uptrend and a downtrend, they're inducing both to take your money. Now, when they're moving and when they're buying and in control, you want to go with them. You want to go with the market maker at all times. You want to buy with them. You want to sell with them. But they're going to try to manipulate you at the same time they're manipulating the retail traders, because they want to induce and take your shit out to kind of scare you, thinking that you ain't on your shit. So if you confident and you understand the market structure, you have nothing to worry about. So London session, we get in, buy here. Of course, remember, buyers in control. Comes up here. London session opens up. Off the previous high. Over here. London session for a reversal right out here. Beautiful London session. Break support, retest, drop. So anybody that didn't catch this move right here, any retail traders that didn't catch this, they got in right here. So they got induced right here as well. I guess I didn't draw that. So this would have been one of the spots they did get induced. Because once it broke that, retail traders sold that. Because you're taught to sell support resistance line. You teach you trade to sell support resistance line. You wait for the retest. So they got in right here. Of course, once they got in right here, New York session off of the low, move the market up. So understand this. Now you see the overall trend. I placed this all on the chart so I can kind of explain it as best as I can better to you. So, and I said up here, they're inducing the sellers. Like I said, they got the sellers in right here too. And then once the sellers get in, they like to move the market. They got the sellers in here. But like I said, we know what's going on. We sold this too, but we know what's going on. We know the buyers are in control. So you have to understand the market structure at the same time. You have to understand manipulation. Otherwise, you're going to just continually lose money. So buyers in control, they're inducing the sellers at this point. Comes up again. New York session, like I said, brings it up. Next day, Wednesday, is what will be our midweek reversal, one of our midweek reversal days, right? Wednesday comes up. What do they do? Induce sellers again, right? We know the structure. Induce sellers again right here. So sellers get in. They think it's going to continue to drop again like it did right here for this is what they're expecting right here. That's what they want, right? So they induce the sellers again. Of course, we get in. We the intraday traders. So we get in, we get out. Induce the sellers. After they induce the sellers, move the market the opposite direction, right? This is an ongoing thing, over and over and over. Let me come back in. Move the market up. Now, at this point, you have to understand, retail traders are not dumb. They will catch on. So at this point, you see they caught on. Why? Because this trend line here, this overall trend line, because they placed those on the chart. And they live by these trend lines and this support resistance shit. So when they place that on the chart, they get fixated with that. So they see the trend now. So they know, okay, this is the uptrend. This is the uptrend. Buyers in control. So now, obvious trend, you got to let the retail traders eat. Can't just do them bogus all the time. You got to let them eat some. So, why is it like this? Oh, let me just read this. So you got to understand manipulation, guys. You got to let the retail traders. I got a lot of this for you. You got to let the retail traders eat, right? You can't just take all their money. You know what I'm saying? You got to let them feel some kind of confidence, because if you don't, they're going to quit trading. And a lot of them usually do. So the retail traders catch on, let them eat. They get in, get some money. Once they get some money, they catch on with the market. They get some buys, whatnot, inducing them the whole time. And then what we do, we push the market down. We shift the market after we got enough. Let the retail traders catch on, eat some money. It's a lot of liquidity now. It's a lot of liquidity up here. So this is the actually high of the month right here too. I'm not gonna go to the monthly, but we can actually see it in 1 hour if I go back, and I'm not gonna do all that. Okay, so got enough. We drop. Remember, this is our trend. What do they teach you about trend lines and shit and support and resistance? You wait for it to retest. So that was a retest. That was another inducing technique right here to try to get any buyers to come in the market to want to buy off this trend line that was happening off this trend line, because it breaks the trend line, come back, you buy type shit, and that didn't happen. Of course, it took them, induced them, took their money. They did try to buy right there. So now, boom, we get the push down, breaking this little support we had here, or resistance line we had here, playing with it, finally break it. Now we just kind of tapping off of it right here. We're inducing sellers, right? Because we broke this support and resistance. We're inducing the sellers. Remember, that was a previous zone right here, over here, you see? Now we're inducing sellers. Sellers are in control now. So we're inducing sellers right here. We're trying to get the sellers to keep selling, get them to keep selling off the zone. Finally, we break through that zone. What do we do after you break through a zone? Retail traders, you retest. They read for the retest, and then you buy. Of course, that's what retail. This is a buy trap to take out the sellers that was right here. Took out the sellers, as well as any buyers going to hop in the market, because they're going to try to wait for this break to get in on a buy of the zone, which that didn't happen either. So it's a manipulation tactic. Of course, we know what's going on. Sellers are in control. We're looking for the sell off this. So London session comes with a sell off of the high of the day of Friday. London session opens up. Once the market opens and drops. So now, once it drops, remember, guys, once it drops, gets down here, what do we have? It's testing a trend. We got a trend line now. So retail traders are placing these now. Should become obvious. It's starting to become obvious. They see that. So they see that trend line. So what they do off the trend line, they start to buy, right? They're inducing the buyers to buy. So all the buyers buying, trying to get in, because buyers, they induce the buyers on the traps, they induce the buyers at the lows because they know you buy low, you sell high, you sell at the highs, you buy at the lows, right? Sell high, buy low. So they're inducing buyers. That's what they teach the retail traders. So all the retail traders are buying off these lows. Every time they came down here, they're buying it. They see that strong zone right here, so they're buying. So buyers catch on, they're buying this market. Cool, they getting a little money, they doing good, making a little money, feeling good. Now, it comes up, hit this trend line. Remember, it haven't broke this zone yet. It's just not breaking this zone on this downtrend. Breaks this zone. This is the retest, the first retest right here. What do retail traders do on that? They're going to sell that, right? They're going to sell that, induce them again to sell that. So at the same time, we're inducing buyers and sellers right here. Inducing both. The buyers are in the market. They got in right here. Let them get some money, all right? You know, let them get some. Sellers are in, remember, sellers are in control. This is a downtrend. Sellers are in control. Buyers get in, get them some money. Now we gotta, this is the zone, remember? Fresh support and resistance zone that haven't been retested until right here. Test it. Anybody got in and tried to sell either right here or there, or even try to sell right here, it just stopped them out right there. Shifted the market the opposite direction. Shifted the market the opposite direction. So any buyers, the buy traps, of course, they thought they was going to keep buying once it broke this zone and retest. Yeah, of course, that didn't happen either. But hit the seller stop loss. Anybody that was selling here, buyers thinking they're going to continue. This wasn't that type of. This is sellers are in control right now. So any buyers, you just buying the this retest, this retracement here. But understand that. You have to understand that though. You have to understand the market structure on when you're buying and selling. Who's in control of this market. So of course we see the market making these, like I said, the trend is obvious, right? We get our obvious trend. It's obvious to everybody. So retail traders see, okay, this is a downtrend now. Okay, shit. But we can start selling. So they start selling. They're selling now. All retail traders are selling. They getting some money. They happy now. We see how they barely getting them a little bit of money. They get them enough to stay in the market. Get them enough to stay in the market. Low of the week is created. No week, after we let them get some money, move the market up, push, we breaking through zones, support and resistance zones, and retesting, making higher highs, higher lows. Of course, it just broke this zone over here. We wait for that retest right there. Anybody that's buying here thinking that the market will continue up now, of course, buying off of the low of the week. Did not make it, of course, and induced them for a trap to try to trap as many buyers as they can before they move it down. Move the market down. Remember now, once the trend becomes obvious, guys, the market maker is going to shift the trend. The trend became obvious because the retail traders are placing these trend lines, and now they're starting to get some money. So now retail traders are seeing that, okay, we see a low of the week over here. We got the low right here. Now we're going to buy because what do retail traders teach you? They buy off the lows and the highs. Of course, this looks like a nice, I guess a W formation right here, what could possibly be. But if you don't understand the market structure and the manipulation, you don't even need to be looking for a buy at all right here. So you need to be looking for sales, which would have been right here off of London. which would have been right here, sell opportunity right here off London. So, of course, inducing buyers right here because they're going to buy off this low. That's where you induce the buyers off the low. You induce the sellers off the high. Inducing the buyers. Buyers get in. They get in off that because they thinking this is low. They get in, and then what happens? Comes down, hit their stop loss. Take them out the game right before they move the market up. Again, and they like, what the fuck? I can't even make no money. Then they get in, they see this trend line. Like, okay, I'm gonna sell this trend line. Get in on the trend line so I can sell this trend line. So, okay, market maker like, yeah, come on, get on in here. So everybody that just got stopped out here on the buy, see this, now they're gonna sell. So everybody's starting to sell. All that liquidity, all this liquidity there. That's where all the orders are at. So they're selling this trend line right now. Remember, this trend is obvious. Obvious. You think they can just let y'all eat like that? No, when the trend's obvious. So what they do, yeah, come on, get in. And then, of course, they push all the way up with a 40 pip stop loss to take everybody out the game before they move the market down. This happened a perfect Tuesday reversal off Monday's high. Perfect at New York session right here. You see, perfect New York session. Look at this induction. Look at this induce right here. We're induced everybody to buy right here. Came down, New York session, perfect reversal. The opportunities where it's happening at to get in the market is at these sessions, London and New York. And this is happening over and over, guys. Look again. Buyers are now taking control. Why? Because we don't see any lower lows thing constantly being made. We made a push up. Oh, that indicates a strong move, right? To retail traders. That means we need to be looking for buys for retail traders. That's what that tells them. And of course, we're not making any lower lows no more. We're making higher lows now. So buyers in control. So now we start to see this trend line, of course, right here getting hit. We see this one up here as well at the top. You see that one. So we start to see activity, right? Buyers to take control. We're at the top of the trend line. Now it's time to induce sellers. Let the retail traders get your little money right there off New York, off their high. They come again, try to catch their money. They stop them out right there. And then as well, they're inducing sellers as well as they're inducing buyers to get in this market because everybody is buying from it breaking this zone. So they're inducing the buyers, inducing the sellers to take out the sellers. Of course, like I said, they trying to induce both on both ends. They manipulating on both ends. Studies try to induce right here for the final day, inducing. Of course, finally just breaks that zone. Midweek reversal Wednesday, we know what's going on. New York session drops that joint, but we know who's in control, buyers. Only time you want to sell or buy against the trend is when you understand the structure. Don't sell and buy against an uptrend if you don't understand the structure or the manipulation. You don't know where the trap's at. You don't need to be selling or buying against a certain direction. If it's an uptrend, just go ahead and buy with it. Downtrend, just look for sales because if you don't understand the traps, if you don't understand the manipulation, the structure, cycle structure, you will not be able to take all these opportunities on trades. You won't be able to take that many opportunities on trades until you understand it all. It's not, Forex is not just one course, two courses. This is multiple study. This is studying nonstop. This is understanding the whole different psychological game right here they playing. So midweek reversal drops, of course. Buyers are in control. We induce sellers at the lows. We induce buyers at the lows, induce sellers at the high. Trend line right here, we got the obvious trend. Remember, the trend becomes obvious. Once we get this activity back and forth, the trend becomes obvious. Retail traders see that. They look for the trend to break. They broke right here, came back and retested. It also made a first retest of this break right here. That zone. Retested, broke through the zone, this trend line again. Now it's starting to retest that trend line. So retail traders, okay, it's gonna sell. We started to look for sales off this trend line. They're playing off the trend line. You got to know where they angle at. You got to know where they trying to manipulate at, I guess, too. You got to know where, because they manipulating, I guess, certain highs and lows. So of course they set a trap here for the sellers to get in and sell off this trend line, and of course they sell and then to push the market up. Take their money if they had any stop losses around this area right here. So take them out the game. Wednesday, midweek reversal off Tuesday high. Beautiful at London session. Drops, comes down. What a lot of people do expect when you get a move down, they expect a retrace, right? That's what people expect. And retrace there. So you got your buyers. Everybody trying to buy and wait for that retrace. They buying. What the fuck? Ain't shit happen. They buying. But as they buying, they set their stop losses where? Down here, right? As they buying here and this shit, put their stop loss waiting on this to come up to retest before they can try to sell again or whatnot. But what happens? It doesn't. It comes right down and it drops back down there to hit their stops if they had any down there. If anybody did catch on and buy here, cool. There was a whole trap there set up too to induce you to get in. Because if you did catch it, that was just some bait for you to get in, get you some little money, think you doing your thing. Sellers are in control. Pushing the market, end up pushing the market midweek reversal. Wednesday, push the market down. New York session, perfect trade opportunity. Induce the buyers, let them get in, try to think to get in. If anybody had their stop loss down there, it came down and hit their stop loss before it moved it up. But if you did catch it, like I said, it was just a trap for you to think it was going to keep going up, but it dropped. So now trend becomes obvious at this point because it's starting to play off these lows. We're starting to see it now. Retail traders see it. Once it becomes obvious, time for the market maker to change the direction. The trend is obvious now, right? So as we get this obvious trend, what do we do? Like I said, they got to change the direction. In order to do that, you start to induce by making perfect, nice sell opportunities. We got support, break support, retest, breaks, retest, break, retest. These are your sell opportunities for retail traders because that's what they're doing right now to induce them. This is the trick. They're trapping them right here because the trend became obvious. So if they keep on selling off these trend lines, off this, support, sell, right? And then the market just shifts up. Boom. Changes the directions. Buyers take control. Same thing over and over, guys. Midweek reversal right here, Wednesday, London session off the low of Tuesday. Beautiful trade right here to catch that. But you see they induce the sellers off the, of what they teach you. Support and resistance, trend line, broke the trend, came back and retested the trend, and, over and over. Understand where the traps are at. Understand where's the liquidity. Understand where's the manipulation, who's in control of the market. The buyers are in control or are the sellers in control? If the liquidity is at the highest and the low, where's the trap? Who's they inducing? Are they inducing the buyers and the sellers? Are they inducing the buyers? Where's their angle? Is multiple confluences you need to ask yourself when understanding this. They're showing obvious trends for a reason to get you to get in, to manipulate you. So understand market structure. That will help you a whole lot in the end. I'm out.